Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a number of drug arrests, including in Deer Isle, where an arsenal of guns was also seized.
Plus, Governor Mills says millions of dollars will help communities deal with climate change while creating lots of new jobs.
And it looks like an economic crisis is avoided as lawmakers take action to prevent a rail strike.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's turning out to be a beautiful Friday morning so far. I looked out the door a little while ago. The sun's out there.
Yeah.
What a difference from yesterday when everything was raining and blowing around.
Right. And it's going to come back tomorrow. So if you can, enjoy your Friday. It was a beautiful sunrise, but Devin Biggs has the forecast for the day.
Hey, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. We have more alerts that have been issued, though. We have gale watches up until Sunday at around 1 a.m. and high wind watches in effect until 7 p.m. on Saturday. More gusty winds will be on the way with another system that will begin to approach, especially for the daytime tomorrow. But for now, we're quiet out there, and today will be a quiet day and a calm day as well. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky, so a mixture of clouds and sun in general. Giving you the bigger picture, though, we're looking pretty good. We have a little bit of activity off toward the north and west, but again, for us today, we're looking pretty good. Tonight will be fine. There's more clouds beginning to move in. It's tomorrow when the rain begins to move in along with some gusty winds. So a partly cloudy sky on the way for us today, but we have more clouds on the way later on tonight, and especially as we head towards the daytime tomorrow as our system begins to move in. So we will have to watch out for some wind from time to time, too. They'll be out of the south, especially for tomorrow, and increasing throughout the day. Look at the pressure gradient here. Some gusty winds up to 20 to even 30 miles per hour at times. Sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour in some spots cannot be ruled out. So for today, though, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 20s, mostly cloudy, rising temperatures overnight as well. So this low temperature will be hit early. That south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 50s, rain likely to be heavy at times, while south breeze getting up to about 35 miles per hour. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sun, temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, an investigation into illegal night hunting led to a substantial drug arrest in Hancock County. A Deer Isle man and his girlfriend are facing a slew of charges following an investigation that began in early November. Officials say that's when 42-year-old Dexter Bray of Deer Isle was found with fentanyl and thousands in cash while being checked out for illegal night hunting. Maine drug agents ended up getting a search warrant for his home on Wednesday. As a result of that raid, Bray and 42-year-old Heather Davis were both arrested and charged with aggravated trafficking in fentanyl. During the search of the couple's home, police found 23 grams of fentanyl, 6 grams of crack cocaine, and over $16,000 in suspected drug proceeds. They also seized 46 guns. At last report, Bray and Davis were being held at the Hancock County Jail without bail.
A third person has now been arrested in connection with a Penobscot County drug trafficking investigation. 25-year-old Dylan Ireland is charged with aggravated drug trafficking. On Thursday, Maine Drug Enforcement agents seized an additional 482 grams of fentanyl from a Newport motel. 2 other people were arrested at the Maple Ridge Mobile Home Park in Corinna on Tuesday. Ireland's bail has been set at $10,000 cash.
Maine State Police were called to the scene of a crash in Belgrade involving a car and railroad equipment. It happened Thursday morning right on Route 27 in front of the Hammond Lumber Company. A car driven by 83-year-old William Bachman of Smithfield was traveling south when it collided with a machine called a railroad tamper. As you can see in these pictures, the car sustained serious damage. Bachman was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the tamper, 19-year-old Bryce Willett, suffered minor injuries. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
A Presque Isle man has died at the Maine State Prison in Warren. A spokesperson for the Maine Department of Corrections tells us that Robert Carney, age 59, died around 7:20 Wednesday night. The Maine Attorney General's office and the State Medical Examiner's office were called in as a standard procedure for deaths within the state prison system. Carney had been incarcerated since August of 2021 and was serving 20 years with all but 8 years suspended for aggravated trafficking.
Well, at the Maine Climate Council meeting at Colby College yesterday, Governor Janet Mills announced new climate investments that will help protect Maine communities and also create good-paying, clean energy jobs. Matthew Juronsik has more.
we will be the generation that protects this precious place we call home so that future generations may live in a Maine that is as beautiful and bountiful as it is today.
On the second anniversary of Maine Won't Wait, which is the name of the state's climate action plan, Governor Janet Mills set forth more than $6 million to help make Maine a clean state.
First, I'm investing an additional $2.9 million for 91 Maine communities to benefit from our Community Resilience Partnership. Secondly, I'm investing another $2.5 million from my Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan in workforce grants to 9 organizations in Maine as part of our Clean Energy Partnership.
According to Maine Climate Council co-chair Hannah Pingree, she says the 4-year plan has goals that are far-reaching into the future with the intention of reducing emissions and to help combat climate change.
The plan has sparked all kind of action all over Maine. So everything from a record number of heat pump deployments, energy efficiency, weatherization. Obviously there's a lot of work to do to prepare Maine for the kinds of changes we're seeing, but it's very heartening to see so much action happening across the state.
And even in the midst of planning for a clean future, Efficiency Maine Trust Executive Director Michael Stoddard says these investments may not show their effects immediately.
It's going to be a tough winter. I think everyone should prepare themselves for the fact that these high energy prices are here to stay for this winter. I don't think that they will last long past this year, but we got to all do the best we can and pull together.
Matthew Jaroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
The Maine Better Transportation Association held its 71st Maine Transportation Conference in Augusta yesterday. More than 700 transportation leaders gathered in Augusta Civic Center, where members connected on the latest transportation news and shared the newest technology. This is the first time the event has been held in person since 2019. The theme of this year's conference was Where Challenges Meet Opportunities, Maine's Unique Transportation Need. Maine Department of Transportation Commissioner Bruce Van Note says it's important to highlight the significance transportation has on our everyday lives.
It's fundamental. Everything we do every day, whether you ate breakfast this morning, it came on a truck or a train. You went to work today. Most of you probably drove in some kind of personal vehicle. It just affects everybody every day. It makes a huge difference, and this is a conference to highlight that fact.
Van Note says that even though he doesn't have an idea of next year's theme, he'd like to talk about the successes of Maine's transportation industry.
Well, some good news for patients and families at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. The hospital has announced an expanded visitation schedule for the foreseeable future. Among the changes, patients will now be allowed to have 2 visitors in their rooms, even more in some cases. It's also easing restrictions during the delivery of babies and the surgeries. Northern Light says they recognize the important role loved ones play in the healing process. Make sure to adhere to the safety and screening requirements and be part of the healing that their loved ones needs.
Health Equity Alliance held its annual World AIDS Day gathering last night with the hopes of encouraging compassion, honoring history, and encouraging a conversation. This comes after the Ellsworth City Hall reading of the 2022 World AIDS Day proclamation. When asked about the importance of the proclamation, advocates emphasized the need to educate.
Nobody's thinking about the community living with HIV/AIDS except for on these days anymore, and so the stigma builds, the education isn't there, we're not talking about it. So to dedicate a day of the year to say, this is a day we're going to think about it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to ask people about it, is a very important thing.
There's still a fight to be fought. There's still people to be taken care of. There's still our neighbors and loved ones and friends and family that still need our compassion and our thoughtfulness. And so it's something it's so wonderful that we've made progress, but it's nothing that's gone by the wayside.
For more details, visit their website at mainehealthequity.org or on their social media.
Well, before we take the break, we want to tell you there's a breaking news situation that's apparently happening up in Medway at this hour. We really don't know much, but we were just told that there was some kind of a police standoff situation going on up there that might have involved gunfire.
Happened just after 7 a.m.,
Happened
I believe.
just after 7. A lot of police presence up there in Medway, so be aware of that. You may want to steer clear of the area. If you do see any police activity in the area, just stay out of there. Let them do their thing. We'll continue to gather details, and as soon as we know more, we'll pass it on to you.
Yep. Well, the time is now 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about a new program that organizers hope could be a win-win for landlords and people transitioning out of homelessness.
But first, another check of that forecast. Looks like today will be a partly cloudy day with highs near 37 degrees. The clouds will thicken overnight with lows dropping down to around 29. We can expect some more rain showers moving into the area tomorrow. It will be gusty too. The highs near 53 degrees.
Comfort Shoes and More will make winter easier. Next Grip men's and ladies' boots feature cutting-edge technology to make walkways a breeze. Corkers are made with interchangeable soles to conquer the roughest winter conditions. Navitec with the flip it and clip it spikes make you confident no matter what the conditions are. Bruce McDonald's trained podorthist will make sure the fit is perfect for you. See why thousands of people have trusted Comfort Shoes and More for all of their footwear. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
Hammond Lumber Company is honored to have again been named one of the best places to work in Maine. Hammond Lumber recognizes the importance of employee satisfaction. They provide a positive workplace environment with opportunities to grow. Hammond has continued to grow too, with more team members across Maine and New Hampshire. To find your place on the Hammond team, click on the careers link at hammondlumber.com. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to be one of the best places to work in Maine.
Breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. A fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, and your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. Breakfast bagels are back, but only for a limited time.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Happy holidays from Village Variety in Glenburn. Village Variety has been an active part in the Glenburn community for decades and plans to for decades to come. Stop by and see us today. Merry Christmas from Silver Fox Automotive in Herman, where there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Happy holidays from the Joe's Furniture Warehouse family. We thank you for your business and future new business customers.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, ground was broken Thursday for a new fire station in the town of Newburgh. The existing station was built by volunteers and served the town for a lot of years, but an inspector found it needed extensive repairs that would be expensive. The new fire station will be part of a municipal complex that already houses Newburgh's municipal offices. Voters approved $2.3 million for it back in June. A recount will be held Monday to determine a winner in the very close race for a seat with the Somerset County Commissioners. A candidate in the District 5 race won by just a single vote, and the recount will be held to determine who will get to serve as commissioner. The certified results show Joel Stetkis is leading that race with 1,270 votes, while Lloyd Trafton has 1,269. The recount will be held Monday morning in Augusta. And Senate President Troy Jackson and Speaker of the House-elect Rachel Talbot Ross have announced plans to create a new joint select committee on housing. They say it's in response to Maine's ongoing housing crisis. The new committee's limited scope will allow members to focus solely on critical housing issues around the state. Senate President Troy Jackson said, quote, "The housing crisis in this state is not a southern Maine problem or an Aroostook County problem. It's a Maine problem. Folks all across the state are struggling to find quality, affordable housing options that are close to work and are suitable for their families. It's adding to our workforce shortage and making it harder for employers to attract workers." Maine Housing reports the housing market has outpaced average household income in almost every county amid a shortage of houses for sale. Community Health and Counseling introduced a pilot program yesterday that they hope will be a win-win for both landlords and people transitioning from being homeless into new housing. With money from Maine Housing, Community Health and Counseling plans to work as a middleman between landlords that offer properties to people in transition that are already working with organizations in the community to help get them into their own rental properties.
The goal is to have some financial resources to alleviate some of the barriers that prevent some of the landlords from maybe renting to this population, individuals who are currently unhoused and unsheltered.
Hamilton says that the money can be spent in a number of ways to help bridge the gaps in the process to getting people in transition into new housing. Everything from security deposit help to fixing up properties so they can qualify for the program. Well, the time is now 8:15. After the break, a local psychiatric hospital celebrated the holidays yesterday while bringing awareness to mental health. Plus, we'll hear how federal money is being allocated to relieve pressure on law enforcement, while also aiding mental health resources. We'll be right back with these details.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Even though Dorsey Furniture is known for our vast collections of quality home furnishings, sometimes we like to venture into the forgotten passageways and dark corners of our enormous warehouse to mine the odd nightstand, forgotten sofa, orphaned love seat, or the elusive discontinued mattress. Meanwhile, our sales manager, and not the bean counters, smash the original retail prices into tiny fractions of themselves. Dorsey Furniture, black tag sale going on now.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Hashi Auto Enhancing family. We thank you for your business this past year. Wishing you a warm holiday season from Candor Cafe, located inside the Bangor Mall. Season's greetings and Happy New Year from the Next Homies at Next Home Experience. Thank you for a great 2022.
Nearly $750,000 is going to 3 counties in Maine to help increase mental health resources and alleviate the pressure on law enforcement. Senators Angus King and Susan Collins announced the money is going to Waldo, Knox, and Cumberland counties. The funding comes from the 2022 Connect and Protect Law Enforcement Behavioral Health Response Program. The senators say the money will enhance emergency service providers' ability to safely respond to a mental health crisis. It will also help to divert more mental health calls to the appropriate service providers.
Meanwhile, Northern Light Acadia Hospital hosted their second annual Lights of Life holiday tree lighting yesterday. The lights cast a warm glow on the front lawn of Northern Light Acadia Hospital in Bangor. Employees gathered to enjoy music and treats in celebration of the lighting. The lights on the tree were purchased with various levels of donations to honor or remember those who have suffered mental illness. And the funds will support care provided at the hospital.
Recognizing folks with chronic illnesses in our space, but also bringing more attention to a very important illness. We saw that through COVID, obviously, the importance of managing mental illness and really getting to our younger folks in particular. So this is as much as not only recognizing those that we have lost, but also thinking about our future generations and making sure people know that we're here.
Well, donations can be made at northernlighthealth.org/Acadia Lights. Members of the public can also view a full video of the tree lighting on the Acadia Hospital's Facebook page. We've learned a little bit more information about a police situation that's happening right now up in the town of Medway. Apparently there's some kind of a police standoff going on at a home on Route 157, and the East Millinocket Police Department just posted something on their Facebook page saying that the Medway Road between Grindstone Road and Patagumkus Road has been closed at this time. There's also word that some of the schools there are closing down at this time, and some parents saying that they can't even get their kids to to school at this time. So that's still evolving. It just happened a little after 7 o'clock this morning. We don't know much about the situation, but there is a police standoff. There were reports that some shots might have been fired. We will be following that situation closely. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know about it. But you may want to avoid that area. People heading up to trying to get to Millinocket, you're going to have to take a different way because the main road up through there is closed. So going to cause some problems there.
More details as we get them.
Yep.
And now, forecast, though, for the rest of your planning of the day. Devin Biggs has the details.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. High wind warnings are up until 7 p.m. on Saturday, high wind watches are in effect. We might see these getting upgraded to high wind warnings, but the watches are up until 7 p.m. on Saturday. We might see these getting upgraded soon, along with the gale watch, also up until Sunday at around 1 a.m. These are the watches that says, hey, be ready for this, so we might see these getting upgraded to warnings coming up soon. But moving forward, though, today we're quiet. Not much of any wind to worry about. We will have to watch out for the clouds that will begin to increase later on tonight, especially for the daytime tomorrow. Out of our next system now will begin to move in, located right about here right now. So high pressure is helping us out, keeping us pretty quiet today. Just a few passing clouds. This system will begin to move in soon from the west to the east. That'll give us the gusty winds and plenty of rain on the way for the daytime tomorrow. And the gusty winds. Again, today, not a big deal. In fact, pretty quiet out there overall. Maybe some winds up to 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that'll be about it. But tomorrow, things get a little interesting with some gusty winds at least through 6 a.m. Saturday, getting up to 30 miles per hour. Some higher gusts getting close to 40 miles per hour. Cannot be ruled out throughout the day for your Saturday. Wave heights will be very active as a result. They're actually pretty active now, ranging from 2 to 4 feet closer to shore, to 8 feet according to some buoys, and 11 feet farther out towards sea. So the ocean remaining active, and with another system on the way, the ocean will continue to remain active. Our average high is 39 degrees. We'll reach for the upper 30s today, lower 50s for you Saturday, back down the mid-30s for you Sunday, back up to the upper 30s Monday. The 40s make a return Tuesday and Wednesday, and also into your Thursday. Moving forward, though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky for today. A mixture of clouds and sunshine is a general idea. Starting out relatively clear later on tonight, but more clouds moving overnight, especially for the daytime on your Saturday. By about noon, the rain gets going. Some heavy downpours cannot be ruled out as well. Along with those gusty winds, the rain will end as we head towards Saturday night. The clouds will then clear out as well, and cooler temperatures will then begin to move in as the area of low pressure begins to get out of here. How much rain can we see? Not a whole lot, though. Some areas could see up to a half an inch before we're all finished up. Maybe isolated areas of up to an inch cannot be ruled out for a few areas. So for today, upper 30s, partly cloudy, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, upper 20s, mostly cloudy, some rising temperatures overnight, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 50s, rain likely will be heavy at times, south wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour. And here's a look at your extended forecast. So we dry out on Sunday with lots of sunshine and highs falling back to the mid-30s. We're in the upper 30s on Monday with a lot of sunshine as well. And rain moves back in again for you Tuesday, highs in the upper 40s.
Interest rates are on the rise and making waves in the real estate market. Buying or selling? You need a navigator. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop in Brewer.
And some call me the King.
There are RC trucks, cars, crawlers, and parts aplenty. There are planes, metal detectors, and gear galore. I have decreed that all people can book birthday parties with their RC vehicles provided for all. We have indoor and outdoor tracks and crawling courses available. Bring yourself, your family, and friends to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop, South Main Street, Brewer.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Sometimes big truck accidents can result in big case settlements. These are just some of the big case results I fought to get my clients. If a big truck hurts you, we'll make them pay you every single dollar you deserve for your injuries. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck?
come out on top. Call the twos. Call 222-2222.
Homes are selling in a single day. The real work happens well before. I'm Holly Taylor, and I have the expertise to guide you through your home improvements. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Lawmakers taking action to prevent a rail strike that threatened to upend the economy. The Senate passed a bipartisan bill forcing rail workers to abide by a deal that will keep the trains rolling. But lawmakers rejected a move to add guaranteed sick leave the unions had been fighting for. The country dodged a bullet just as the economy is showing some encouraging signs. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, an economic crisis averted.
We're going to avoid the rail strike, keep the rails running, keep things moving.
President Biden is poised to sign a bill that will prevent a major rail strike after the Senate passed a resolution requiring rail workers to accept a tentative labor agreement.
The joint resolution is passed.
The new labor deal includes a $16,000 immediate payout, with an increase in wages and benefits to $160,000, a 24% pay raise, $5,000 performance bonuses, maintaining access to health care plans, and an additional day of paid personal leave.
What was negotiated was so much better than anything they ever had.
For leaders of at least 4 major unions, that agreement still falls short.
I don't have paid sick leave.
The deal only includes a single day of paid sick leave for workers. An effort to secure 7 days of leave was voted down in the Senate on Thursday. It is the first time in decades that Congress has used its powers to intervene and stop a strike, but the consequences could have been crippling for businesses as we head into the holidays. It comes as we see positive news signs in the economy. Gas prices are falling across the country, now the lowest since before Russia invaded Ukraine in February. AAA reporting the national average for unleaded gas now at $3.47 per gallon. That's down about 12 cents in the last week. Gas Buddy predicts prices could fall below $3 per gallon by Christmas.
This is putting real money back into people's pockets. A few reasons for this. One is we're not driving as much because the busy summer driving season is behind us. Lots of refineries here that were offline because of maintenance and repairs are back up to speed.
And the November jobs report that is out today will provide a snapshot of the market, which is expected to show slow but strong growth.
And the first state dinner of the Biden administration was held last night. While the lavish affair is a symbol of the U.S. and French relationship, the two presidents also had a lot of thorny issues to discuss. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has the story from Washington.
Dinner and diplomacy. The Bidens hosting their very first state visit, welcoming French President Emmanuel Macron and the First Lady to the White House. While the evening was glitz, celebrities, and smiles, earlier the two presidents discussed how the two countries can work together to aid Ukraine against Russia.
President Macron and I have resolved that we're going to continue working together to hold Russia accountable for their actions and to mitigate the global impacts of Putin's war on the rest of the world.
President Macron says he is planning to speak to Russian President Putin soon. But for President Biden,
I'm prepared to speak with Mr. Putin if, in fact, there is an interest in him deciding he's looking for a way to end the war. He hasn't done that yet.
the news conference also showed where they disagree. President Macron expressed concern about recent spending bills pushed by President Biden that have clean energy initiatives that prioritize American-made technology over European.
We're back in business. Europe is back in business. And we're going to continue to create manufacturing jobs in America, but not at the expense of Europe.
It seems kind of hollow to me that he would be angered that the U.S. government was pursuing policies to create jobs at home and not in France.
President Biden said he is open to tweaks on the legislation that favors American technology and that it was never meant to exclude European manufacturers. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
The Food and Drug Administration might end a blanket ban on blood donations from gay and bisexual men. Current federal rules prevent blood banks from accepting blood donations from gay men who have been sexually active within the last 3 months. The agency says it is considering a new approach. It says it will likely support a switch to individual risk assessments. Under the new plan, gay men would have to fill out a questionnaire. The changes come amid blood shortages and continued calls against overly broad guidelines.
Drug enforcement officials raising concern, saying the fentanyl crisis in the Phoenix area is still on the rise and is possibly getting worse, having implications for the rest of the country. Fox's Stephanie Bennett spoke with a DEA agent about the crisis and how cartels are using Arizona as a gateway to get drugs to the rest of the country. Fox's Stephanie Bennett.
They use pills because they're deceptive, because they seem so innocent.
A flood of fentanyl is wreaking havoc in our communities.
6 out of every 10 pills has a lethal dose. That is an incredibly dangerous number.
The pills are largely produced by the Sinaloa cartels in Mexico, who come up through Arizona, use clandestine labs, and then distribute throughout the rest of the country.
The Sinaloa cartel is primarily using Arizona as a gateway to the rest of the United States. We can link cases here in Arizona, seizures that we've made, to every state in the United States. So we are really the head of the snake.
Cartels make the fake pills to look like OxyContin, Percocet, Vicodin, Xanax, Adderall, and sometimes Advil, just to name a few. They come in all shapes and colors. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is highly addictive, 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine. The DEA says that creates return customers and a huge demand for supply. These clandestine labs are not regulated, and often these pills get mixed or overloaded with a lethal dosage of fentanyl.
When we talk about one pill can kill, it really is one pill, one time. There is no experimentation. There is no trying it. You don't get a second chance.
In 2021, the DEA seized more than 20.4 million fake prescription pills. Earlier this year, they conducted a nationwide operation to target fentanyl-laced pills, and in just over 3 months, they got 10.2 million fake pills. And getting these pills, unfortunately, is easier than ever.
If you are on any social media app, the cartels can get to you. And they are clever in their marketing. And again, these pills seem so innocent, and they're not.
And that was Stephanie Bennett reporting. Meanwhile, China is making a change just days after massive protests erupted. Residents in Beijing and Shanghai expressed relief today as testing requirements and quarantine rules were gradually eased off in some Chinese cities. One Beijing resident told Reuters that he felt the people's voices were finally being heard. The policy shift comes after anger over the world's toughest restrictions fueled protests. China is also set to announce an easing of its COVID quarantine rules in the coming days and a reduction in mass testing, even as cases nationwide remain near record highs.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll have your full weather forecast and your community calendar for the weekend.
We'll be back right after this.
Suffering from sinus congestion, especially at night? Try Vicks Sinex for instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours. Vicks Sinex targets congestion at the source, relieving nasal congestion and sinus pressure by reducing swelling in the sinuses. Try Vicks Sinex.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 selling nerve care company. Nervive contains alpha-lipoic acid to relieve occasional nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort. Try Nervive Nerve Relief.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Friday, December 2nd, 2022, and today is National Bartender Appreciation Day. If you go out tonight, remember the best way to show appreciation to your service workers is by tipping graciously.
On this day in history, in 1970, the Environmental Protection Agency begins in the U.S. And in 1972, the largest sinkhole in the U.S., called the December Giant, collapsed down in Alabama. And Emma showed me a picture during the break a little while ago, and it was a big old hole.
And I went on a dive of just sinkhole photos, and I was like, this sounds like an irrational fear I could have now
you'll
next.
get worried about sinkholes everywhere. Right.
Right, yeah, I can't leave the house. What if a sinkhole? Yeah, what if today's the day? No, we're not fear-mongering. Don't worry. And in 2014, Stephen Hawking, another irrational, this is like on the verge of irrational or rational fear, claims that, Stephen Hawking claimed that artificial intelligence could be, quote, a threat to mankind and spell the end of the human race.
I don't think it's irrational at all, the way we're going,
I agree. It keeps pushing the limits of what is acceptable for technology influencing our lives.
I've watched all the Terminator movies too. I know what happens.
Right.
We don't
Blade
want that.
Runner.
Trust me.
Come on.
We don't want big robots hunting us down.
We don't.
So, anyway, we have some birthdays to tell you about too.
Yeah, it's kind of all early 2000s
pop.
Right. Britney Spears is 40 years old. It's kind of hard to imagine. And in the same era, pop singer Nelly Furtado, it's her birthday today as well. She's 43. And actress Lucy Liu is 53, and rapper Action Bronson is 38. I went to an Action Bronson concert, and I ripped my pants.
Oh, did you really?
I had too much fun.
It's funny how you would remember those things from things like that.
It was on the way home, thankfully, but I just,
had
too much fun dancing.
Is there such a thing, too much fun? Yes. I guess there could be.
Yes, Craig. I pushed it.
There could be. All right. Well, anyway, we made it to Friday. The weekend is finally upon us. Today's going to be a great day. Tomorrow, it's going to be a great day, too. It's going to be a little
tomorrow,
rain,
but it's going to be warm.
Deal.
It's not going to be freezing rain, so that's the
and
plus
there's
side.
a lot of holiday activities going on in Bangor and beyond, so get out there and enjoy. Soak it in.
Absolutely. Let's get that forecast before we look at activities in the area.
Hey, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. We have more alerts that have been issued, though. We have gale watches up until Sunday at around 1 a.m. and high wind watches in effect until 7 p.m. on Saturday. More gusty winds will be on the way with another system that will begin to approach, especially for the daytime tomorrow. But for now, we're quiet out there, and today will be a quiet day and a calm day as well. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky, so a mixture of clouds and sun in general. Giving you the bigger picture, though, we're looking pretty good. We have a little bit of activity off toward the north and west, but again, for us today, we're looking pretty good. Tonight will be fine as more clouds beginning to move in. It's tomorrow when the rain begins to move in along with some gusty winds. So a partly cloudy sky on the way for us today, but we have more clouds on the way later on tonight, and especially as we head towards the daytime tomorrow as our system begins to move in. So we will have to watch out for some wind from time to time, too. They'll be out of the south, especially for tomorrow, and increasing throughout the day. Look at the pressure gradient here. Some gusty winds up to 20 to even 30 miles per hour at times. Sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour in some spots cannot be ruled out. So for today, though, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 20s, mostly cloudy. Rising temperatures overnight as well, so this low temperature will be hit early. That south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 50s, rain likely to be heavy at times, while south breeze getting up to about 35 miles per hour. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sun, temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. And now let's get a check at that community calendar. Starting today, we have the Valley of Trees Festival at 3 p.m. going until 8 p.m. at the Newport Rec Center. There's over 40 trees for auction, decorated by local businesses. Admission is $2. Raffle tickets are 50 cents each. Peter and the Starcatcher at the Penobscot Theatre Company premiered last night. There's another showing tonight at 7 p.m. It's a joyful and hilarious holiday treat about how Peter Pan came to be. And Pottery Ornament Workshop today at 10 a.m. through 12 p.m. at the Durden Center in Brewer. All skill levels are welcome for this earthenware clay class. Register in advance. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Free movie showing. Yep, I said free at 4 p.m. at the Strand Cinema in Skowhegan. Spotlight Cinemas at the Strand is hosting 2 free showings of this movie today and tomorrow. Holiday tree lighting at 5 p.m. at the Post Office Square in Belfast today. Tree will be lit at 5:30, but make sure to be there early because Santa and Mrs. Claus will also make an appearance. Frogtown Puppeteers presents The Grinch at 6 p.m. at the Grand in Ellsworth. The general admission is $8. Improv Me Fest at Bangor Arts Exchange tonight at 6:30 p.m. Admission is $10. It goes tonight and tomorrow. All right, and moving on into tomorrow. Millinocket Marathon and a Half. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Make sure to get there early for registration. It starts at the Veterans Memorial Park in Millinocket. Maine's legendary free race intended to aid local businesses in the area. If you run, though, make sure to support local businesses in the area. That is why it's free. Early bird sale at 6 a.m. in downtown Belfast. Best deals for the earliest birds. And the iconic, in my opinion, John Baptist Holiday Craft Fair at 9 a.m. tomorrow in Bangor. Over 30 years of this annual craft fair, over 50 old and new crafters $5. And tomorrow, the town of Lincoln has holiday events all day, starting at 8 a.m. with the Breakfast with Santa. And then there's a wreath laying at the Veterans Memorial and a Festival of Lights parade at 5 p.m. Make sure to check in with them, though, on their Facebook page to see if that's still going because of the rain. Breakfast with Santa and Craft Fair tomorrow at the Enfield Station Elementary School at 8 a.m. Breakfast is from 8 to 10, and the Craft Fair is from 8 to 1. Breakfast is $5 per person. Sports, Collectibles, and Memorabilia Show tomorrow at 9 a.m. goes till 3 p.m. at the Bangor Elks Club. Free admission, 85 dealer tables, a lot of sports memorabilia stuff from all different types of sports. Christmas Craft Fair tomorrow at 10 a.m. goes until 4 p.m. at 241 Main Street in Old Town. Christmas Craft Fair at a local business. Skowhegan Horse and Carriage Rides. Skowhegan is doing all sorts of stuff tomorrow. These carriage rides go from 10 to 2, though. So after you've strolled through Skowhegan, you can catch a ride on these horse and carriage rides. And there's a book reading and photos with Santa tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Camden Snow Bowl. You can get photos taken with Santa, and he'll read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And Ye Old Holiday Shop tomorrow at 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Page Farm and Home Museum in Orono. This is a beautiful, historic farm, and there's a craft fair inside. I personally love that when I've gone to it in years past. And we can't forget, of course, Bangor's Festival of Lights Parade will go tomorrow, rain or shine. We'll be there in our company car, so stop on by.
I think it's around 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. We'll be walking in there with the entire ABC7 and Fox 22 team. Hope to see you down there, too.
Forecast does say rain, but it's not going to be cold. It's not going to be freezing rain, so we can still have fun.
Dig out your slicker.
Yeah.
Bring an umbrella. Just don't poke anybody in the eye with it. Be careful.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting down there. But no, it'll be a good time anyway. Hopefully you get down there. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad.
Right. Really special float from a local artist. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Well, and Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have the latest in local sports when we return.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one, gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Winning car accident cases is what we do. Check out a few of our big wins.
I broke my wrist and they got me $185,000. What did the twos do for you?
I injured my hip and they got me $260,000. What did the twos do for you?
I needed multiple surgeries and Lowry & Associates got me $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Hear that music? It can only mean breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. Imagine a fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. That's right, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, and sausage, egg, and cheese bagels are all back, but only for a limited time at McDonald's.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to snow blowers, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Christian Pulisic and Team USA face another must-win battle against the Netherlands. Wow! Coverage begins Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern live on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the hardwood. Maine women's basketball is back home on Friday, hosting a real tough Princeton team coming off of an even tougher West Coast trip. And for the Black Bears, they wouldn't have it any other way. Ryan Sudol has the story.
UMaine women's basketball is coming off a long road trip where they had games against teams like Kansas and Gonzaga. And it's not getting much easier this Friday night as they're playing a Princeton team also getting national votes.
We want to play really difficult teams to learn what we need to get better at before conference comes.
And I just think every game we're getting better and learning differently, especially since
Ann's gotten injured.
The Black Bears have been without reigning America East Player of the Year Ann Simon since getting hurt against Yale November 19th.
We just adjust, people have to step up and really fulfill hardships, hard roles that Ann did.
But Coach Amy Vachon's silver lining is that this has given the team a chance to see where they stand.
I think players are learning what they can and can't do and learning what they can do best to help our team.
Help has come from players like sophomore Adriana Smith, who had double-doubles against Northeastern and Niagara. Smith says she's just learning as she goes.
I feel like just finding my confidence and knowing when to do what has been really a challenge for me, but I feel like each game it's becoming a little bit easier.
Another player stepping up is freshman Sarah Talon. The Wyndham native had her career-high 13 points against Gonzaga, and she's savoring the moment.
I've been working toward this since I was a freshman in high school. To actually be here and be playing for such a successful program, it's just such a cool experience that I'll never forget.
All in all, it's a collective effort as the Black Bears have gone 2-2 since Simon's absence. The effort will be further put to the test Friday night against a tough opponent in Princeton.
We just have to play good defense, knock down shots, and limit our turnovers.
Princeton's a very talented team. They can shoot, they defend. We have to really bring our A game.
That game Friday night against Princeton takes place right here in the pit at 7 p.m. In Orono, I'm Ryan Soudal, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Thanks for that, Ryan. A couple of guys with fresh haircuts this week. All in all, looking forward to that women's basketball game on Friday. Princeton, always a tough team for Maine, but like we said, that's how they like it. And we'll move down a level with hoop season tipping off at the high school level next week. Let's take a look at some of the significant dates for the season, kind of like a save the date type of thing. Right, here we go. December 9th is the first MPA games. That's when the season officially tips off. And on February 9th, that's when the regular season officially ends. And then the fun starts. February 14th, we have the girls preliminary round, and on February 15th, that's when the boys prelim rounds start, and then 16th through 25th, that is the week that we all look forward to every year, the MPA basketball tournament. That comes to a close on the 25th with the state championships that following week, Class A on March 3rd, and then the rest on March 4th between Augusta, Portland, and Bangor. And I am looking forward to that. I love me some high school basketball. Let's stay with basketball now. Some news coming out of Boston on Thursday. That news being that Al Horford is going to be sticking around a little while longer. As reported by Adrian Wojnarowski and ESPN, the Celtics and forward Al Horford, or Big Al, have reached an agreement to a contract extension that keeps Horford in Boston for 2 more years at the price of $20 million. Horford was an instrumental piece to those Isaiah Thomas Celtics teams back in 2016 through 2019 when he was first with the team, and then he came back last season and helped them to the NBA Finals. They helped them get over the hump. They hadn't been there in a while, and it was his first NBA Finals ever. Horford will be a 16 and 17-year veteran during these next 2 years of his contract. Let's go over to some soccer now. A big game for Team USA on Saturday morning broadcast right here on our Fox station. They are one of 16 teams left in contention for the World Cup, and standing in their way is the Netherlands. Team USA with a closed practice Thursday evening, but they did arrive at their hotel for the World Cup earlier in the day. Big celebration there. They got in with a 1-0 win over Iran on Tuesday afternoon, with Christian Pulisic scoring the game-winning goal, unfortunately going down with a pelvic contusion. He had to be taken to the hospital after that. So Thursday was his first time talking to reporters, and there was a little confusion as to what a pelvic contusion actually is.
I didn't get hit in the balls, but it's not like I'm all right. I'm all right. It was very painful, and it just, that bone is there for a reason to protect you, I think, and I hit it well. I'm taking it day by day right now, but doing everything in my power to be able to be out there on the field on Saturday.
Looking forward to that match Saturday morning. I'm sure the whole country is. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
The time is now, New England. Medicare annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Hey, I know the glory of a final second win, but don't leave your health care decision up to a Hail Mary. And now it's more important than ever to have a team you can count on. United Healthcare offered some of the first Medicare Advantage plans in New England and is the only company with plans in all 6 states. Now, with more than 250,000 members, they're the leader. But it's not all about being the biggest. Trust me, I know. Sure, all their plans give you access to top doctors and hospitals throughout New England. as well as the nation's largest network of Medicare providers with no referrals. They're also affordable with $0 premium plans in every state, free primary care visits, eye and hearing exams, and no copays for labs, virtual visits, mammograms, and colonoscopies. There's coverage for glasses and hearing aids, and many plans have comprehensive dental benefits. Beyond the benefits, United Healthcare cares. Whether it's diabetes, heart disease, a disability, a knee replacement, United Healthcare has personal navigators, a single point of contact to help you get healthy so you can live your best life. United Healthcare is also the only plan to offer Renew Active with free gym memberships, thousands of online workouts, brain exercises, recipes, healthy lifestyle tips, and rewards for staying active. There are credits for over-the-counter items like vitamins and aspirins and zero copays on hundreds of prescription drugs. You may even get rewards for routine care like annual checkups and certain preventative screenings, all backed by one of the most trusted companies in the country and the Medicare Advantage leader in New England, United Healthcare. Choose and stick with the plan that is in it for the long game. Find out which United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 1-800-236-3146 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
I will come back to you! The new film, Emancipation, is an uncompromising look at slavery in the U.S., telling the story of the man known as Whip Peter. An 1863 photograph of the whip marks on his back shocked the world. He's played by Will Smith. Charmaine Bingwa plays his wife, telling me the film is tough but necessary to watch.
I think you walk away with a greater appreciation of those that came before you. You walk away with a greater appreciation for freedom, and I think you walk away a more loving, kind person.
Emancipation, out today in limited release and streaming next week on Apple TV+.
Those days have come and gone. Perhaps not.
It's our first look at a de-aged Harrison Ford. The first trailer out for Indiana Jones 5, which also now has a name, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Get back.
It'll be in theaters next June.
No one sees what's happening behind the closed doors.
Also, our first look at the upcoming Netflix documentary, Harry and Meghan, featuring interviews with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Netflix says it's coming soon, no exact streaming date. And happy birthday to Britney Spears. The superstar singer is 41 today, while another singer, Mr. Perfect Pitch Charlie Puth, is 31. And that's what's happening in Hollywood.
Now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. High wind warnings are up until 7 p.m. on Saturday, high wind watches are in effect. We might see these getting upgraded to high wind warnings, but the watches are up until 7 p.m. on Saturday. We might see these getting upgraded soon, along with the gale watch, also up until Sunday at around 1 a.m. These are the watches that says, hey, be ready for this, so we might see these getting upgraded to warnings coming up soon. But moving forward, though, today we're quiet. Not much of any wind to worry about. We will have to watch out for the clouds that will begin to increase later on tonight, and especially for the daytime tomorrow ahead of our next system. Now we'll begin to move in, located right about in here right now. So high pressure is helping us out, keeping us pretty quiet today. Just a few passing clouds. This system will begin to move in soon from the west to the east. That'll give us the gusty winds and plenty of rain on the way for the daytime tomorrow. And the gusty winds. Again, today, not a big deal. In fact, pretty quiet out there overall. Maybe some winds up to 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that'll be about it. But tomorrow, things get a little interesting with some gusty winds at least through 6 a.m. Saturday, getting up to 30 miles per hour. Some higher gusts getting close to 40 miles per hour. Cannot be ruled out throughout the day for your Saturday. Wave heights will be very active as a result. They're actually pretty active now, ranging from 2 to 4 feet closer to shore, to 8 feet according to some buoys, and 11 feet farther out towards sea. So the ocean remaining active and with another system on the way, the ocean will continue to remain active. Our average highs 39 degrees. We'll reach for the upper 30s today, lower 50s for you Saturday, back down the mid-30s for you Sunday, back up to the upper 30s Monday. The 40s make a return Tuesday and Wednesday, and also into your Thursday. Moving forward, though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky for today. A mixture of clouds and sunshine is the general idea. Starting out relatively clear later on tonight, but more clouds moving overnight, especially for the daytime on your Saturday. By about noon, the rain gets going. Some heavy downpours cannot be ruled out as well. Along with those gusty winds, the rain will end as we head towards Saturday night. The clouds will then clear out as well, and cooler temperatures will then begin to move in as the area of low pressure begins to get out of here. How much rain can we see? Not a whole lot, though. Some areas could see up to a half an inch before we're all finished up. Maybe isolated areas of up to an inch cannot be ruled out for a few areas. So for today, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, upper 20s, mostly cloudy, some rising temperatures overnight, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 50s, rain likely will be heavy at times, south wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour. And here's a look at your extended forecast. So we dry out on Sunday with lots of sunshine and highs falling back to the mid-30s. We're in the upper 30s on Monday with a lot of sunshine as well. And rain moves back in again for you Tuesday, highs in the upper 40s.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits, including up to $840 added back to your Social Security check each year. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card to pay for extra dental, vision, and hearing expenses, money for over-the-counter items, and up to $840 back in your Social Security check each year. And so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-866-819-7962 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, including up to $840 each year added to your Social Security check to help cover your Part B premium. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free plan guide will provide information to make a smart choice for your Medicare coverage. Just call 1-866-819-7962. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information. So call 1-866-819-7962. Call today. WellCare. Medicare done well.
Well, New York City rats should count their final days. A new rat czar may be coming to town. Mayor Eric Adams' administration is looking for a, quote, somewhat bloodthirsty leader in the city's crusade against rats. The rat czar will have to come up with effective ways to control the city's increasingly visible rodent population. Possibilities include better trash management to waging, quote, wholesale slaughter on the rats. The position, officially called the citywide director of rodent mitigation, pays up to $170,000 a year. It will not be easy. The Big Apple rats are known for being sneaky survivors, the job posting says. They don't run this city. We do.
Very funny. I was actually reading an article about this yesterday, and the mayor says it's like his worst thing. You know, his biggest enemy is rats.
Yeah.
So he's making it a big priority to
It's a hygiene
stamp out
issue.
the
They
rats.
get into apartments. It's like,
it's awful.
insane.
Yeah, it's awful. And some places they just run all over the place too.
Right,
Once
run
the
all over
lights
your
go down.
feet. So you're just walking through the street and a rat runs over your feet.
So if you're looking for a job and you hate rats, go to New York City. You'll make a pretty good paycheck.
I guess so.
Rounded
it takes
up rats.
some very specific type of qualifications, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, we want to update you. There is a police situation underway in Medway at this hour. It's being called a standoff. We don't really know exactly what happened, but we do know that the Medway Road is closed between Grindstone Road